So welcome to the CDTRP 11th Annual Scientific Meeting. My name is Chantal Bémeur, and I am a professor of nutrition and researcher at l'Université de Montréal in Montreal, Quebec. Let's start with a few words in French. It won't be long. Permettez-moi d'abord de vous adresser quelques mots en français pour débuter. C'est un immense honneur pour moi d'agir à titre de coprésidente avec mon collègue Dr. Jonathan Short, du 11e Congrès scientifique annuel du programme de recherche en dons et transplantation du Canada. Il me fait plaisir de vous accueillir chaleureusement, que vous soyez sur place ou à distance. Je vous suis reconnaissante de vous intéresser et de vous impliquer dans cette recherche si pertinente, importante et avant tout humaine. Dans les prochains jours, nous aurons le privilège d'échanger avec des patients, proches aidants et donneurs inspirants, avec des chercheurs engagés sur de la recherche innovante et rigoureuse, dans le but de faire évoluer nos pratiques, mais surtout d'améliorer la vie de notre communauté. We are so pleased to have that you have decided to join us, whether it's in person or online. We have an exciting program set out for today and tomorrow. First, let's take a moment to acknowledge that the work of the CDTRP spans many territories and 3D areas across the country. As in the in-person meeting is taking place in Calgary, Alberta, we would like also to acknowledge that we are located in the heart of southern Alberta. Both acknowledges and pays tribute to the traditional territories of the peoples of Treaty 7, which include the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprised of the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nation, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda, including Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nation. The city of Calgary is also home to Districts 5 and 6 of the Métis Nation of Alberta. We are honored to be uninvited guests on this land and appreciate the ability to work, rest, and play while we are here and leaving the territory as it was when we arrived. For the people at home, feel free to share the territory we are joining us from in the chat box. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge that this meeting was made possible through the financial support from multiple organizations, and that the opinions expressed are those of its authors and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the organizations who provided financial support. This meeting was made possible through industry sponsorships from Astellas Pharma Canada, our platinum sponsor. Thank you for your generous support. AstraZeneca Canada, Merck Canada, Bridge to Life, Takeda Canada. Community sponsorship from Canadian Blood Services, Accelerating Clinical Trials Consortium, Simon Fraser University, and finally received grants from Veloxis Pharmaceutical and the Canadian Institute of Health Research. Thank you again to the organization that supported this meeting. I will now pass it on to my co-chair, Jonathan Choi.
Thanks a lot, Chantal. Hi, everyone. I'm Jonathan Choi. I'm a transplant immunologist at Simon Fraser University and co-lead for theme 4. Yeah, and then the immunology theme and also the education platform. I'm at Simon Fraser University, like I said, so most of my living and playing occurs in and around Simon Fraser University, that is on the unceded territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Coquitlam First Nations. And so I'm privileged to be on that land. The topics for the 2-day events here have been carefully selected by the planning committee. Could I get the advanced slide for the planning committee? Anyways, so I guess the planning committee will show up. No. Okay, so I'll just mention, there they are. So they put in a lot of hard work, and then there'll be the CDTRP also, the staff, Marie Claire and Patricia did the lion's share, I would say, of the organizing and the work. So it was a great group, I think, to work with, and I think we have a great program for the next couple of days. So in the couple of days to come, we're going to hear about the latest in donation transplantation research from renowned scientists, patient, family, and donor partners, as well as a lot of excellent trainees. The topics are going to include advances in basic science, and donation and transplantation, and the Can Prevent project. We're also going to hear from experts regarding the deceased donation. We're going to be an audience to discussions relating to ethical and legal implications of altruistic living donation, among certain communities, and I don't know how to incorporate the patient's voice in a holistic care model. CDTRP's research priorities relating to Indigenous health and COVID-19 are also going to be highlighted. We're all going to have an opportunity to participate in breakout sessions, I think, which are really important for deciding things and learning things, and then ask questions from all the speakers and the attendees. The full program is on the website and the QR code there, and I think there's hard copies on your table. So refer to that. And I think the next couple of days, right, I think the great part of this group is I think we're really open, inclusive, and we really want to encourage everyone to actively engage in questions and interactions, certainly during the sessions, also during coffee breaks, and the poster sessions is huge, right? It's a great time to meet people, look at the latest research, and interact with our colleagues. So don't be shy. A few housekeeping items. We have a strong health and safety policy that we've developed in consultation with our patient and family partners. So it's important that we all wear masks. Well, when we're attending the meeting, we can drink and eat, I think, without them, because it's very difficult to do that with them. So I thank everyone for attendance to that. There's hand sanitizers. If you need more masks, they're at the registration desk, and everyone should be taking a rapid test each morning. Okay, if you're positive, you can not come in person, and then attendance virtually would be great. Yeah, if you have any symptoms, just tell the management team. Okay, refreshment and food are going to be out there in the cyan room, so feel free to eat and drink there. There's an exit to outside somewhere, I think, where we can get some nice fresh air in the warmer weather now than it was a couple days ago. So this is actually balmy, right? And so, yeah, I hope everyone has a great time. We enjoy lots of great science and meet lots of new people. All right, so we'll move on to our first kind of a session this meeting, the CDTRP Year in Review. And this is going to be given by Dr. Laurie West and Dr. Patricia Gongol. So Dr. West is a pediatric cardiologist, transplant immunologist, and clinician scientist based at the University of Alberta. She's the scientific director of the CDTRP and director of the Alberta Transplant Institute. She's revolutionized pediatric heart transplantation with her work on ABO-incompatible transplants. Her research has also transformed clinical practices globally, increasing donor organ availability and shaping immunologic tolerance therapies. Dr. West's leadership and contributions have been recognized with numerous honors, including the appointment as an officer of the Order of Canada. Dr. Gongol is a CDTRP Executive Director based at the University of Alberta. She's a background in molecular biology and genetics. For the last 10 years, has focused on research development and large-scale team science. Her scientific interests focus on the implementation of team science to advance health equity and donation and transplantation, as well as applied research in communication and knowledge mobilization. Laurie and Patricia.
Start? Oh, I'm starting. That's right. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. And it's great to see you all here. Thank you for those introductions, Chantal and Jonathan. We're really excited. This is now our 11th anniversary since the launch of the CDTRP in 2013. 2013. So we've got some exciting updates for you here. Patricia and I. Right. So I'm just going to start us off and then hand over to Patricia's capable hands. So we're going to tell you just a little bit about what's been going on the last year and the programs that continue to grow and the progress towards what's happening then next year. So we make progress in several ways. In 4 major categories, we continue to enhance collaboration among Canadian donation and transplantation communities in the natural health and social sciences through international transdisciplinary network of researchers, patients, families, donors, and partner organizations, as we have from the beginning 11 years ago. So this is very exciting to see this have continued for more than a decade now and grow in new ways and into new areas. We also collaboratively lead areas of research that are identified not only by researchers, but importantly by patient, family, and donor priorities through the 5 interrelated themes that we're going to hear about progress throughout the 2 days. We are also maximizing the effectiveness of research teams through various mechanisms of support that you'll hear about from Patricia and myself, with funding development, and project management, as well as patient, family, and donor partnerships and knowledge mobilizations. And we have some knowledge mobilization activities, which we have some exciting progress on that front to tell you about. And we offer research support services to mobilize new knowledge to ensure patients, families, donors, healthcare systems, partners, and stakeholders across this diverse landscape equitably benefit from the research results, given that, as we heard about before, from the very beginning, this was a building of a sandbox, if you like, that included all the streams of research involved and touching on donation and transplantation. So enhancing network collaboration. This is really exciting because the network continues to grow. We have 15 new investigators now for a total of 206 CDTRP investigators. We have 15 new trainees for a total of 919 trainees involved. The 15s are all out there, aren't they? 15 new 15 new PFD partners. So we now have a total of 99 PFD partners, which is tremendously exciting, and 18 new projects that we've supported. So there are currently 91 projects, CDTRP projects, that are actively being supported. So the network continues to grow and continues to achieve success, which is really tremendously exciting. So a couple of specific areas. You may know about the accelerating clinical trials. Where's Maureen? Is Maureen here? There she is. So accelerating clinical trials was launched by, oh gosh, a couple of years ago, I guess now, but the vision for the ACT was to accelerate, as the title implies, accelerate progress in clinical trials, which are so difficult to organize. And I know David's here, David Briscoe, who told us yesterday about the tremendous work in launching a clinical trial specifically focused on children in transplantation. So the vision of the CDTRP Clinical Trials Group, which is managed by Manuela and Maureen, who are both back there, so beautifully, is a collaboration amongst early all the way to senior level career investigators, as well as trainees, research coordinators, and PFD partners to optimize and increase the number of randomized clinical trials in donation and transplantation, working through the ACT network, which has been focused on ensuring national standards for clinical trials research networks. There will be, for those who have registered, and I understand it's sold out, overflowing rooms for the clinical trial concurrent session at 9:15. So well done. We're very excited about that moving forward. Thank you, team. How else do we support research? Well, our kind of trademark initial program is our innovation grants, which has now been going on for however many years, more than a decade. We've got 8. These are the 8 winners of the 2024 Research Innovation Awards. We're very excited to have the continued support from the Kidney Foundation, from the Transplant Research Foundation of British Columbia, from the Université de Montréal, as well as Paladin, the Alberta Transplant Institute, and Takeda. So we couldn't offer these grants, these important grants, without the support of those organizations, and we're really very pleased to have these new projects that will be rolling out this year. And they're all across everything, as you can see. I won't go through all the titles, but some of them are quite basic science. Some of them are family-centered initiative, tacrolimus-resistant regulatory T cells. They really span. They're a nice example of the breadth of research that's spanned by our community. So we're very excited about that. So a new, in addition to seed grants that we've been offering for through the competition for the last decade, we've embarked on a new initiative this year to really focus on large-scale grants and support for large-scale grants. And this is the grant development program where that was launched earlier this year. And this offers support for large-scale grants that are built that build on a CDTRP supported project and continue to build value in the network. There were two major grant applications submitted in October of this year. These are for CIHR team grants. So they are, as implied and as our purpose, large scale. They take a lot of work. Katie has been amazing in helping write these grants, in assembling all the necessary pieces to put a team grant together. And we will have, so those two went in. The Kidney Foundation of Canada is also partnering on one of these opportunities together with Ontario Health and the Alberta Transplant Institute. And we've got one more still in development for a pilot in 2025. We'll hear about those two that have been submitted early in the new year, we think, and that will be very exciting. So this is a new attempt to really build up the portfolio of research supported by CDTRP. Another way that we're supporting our CDTRP members, I am so proud of this, so I mean, I just can't believe 73 letters of support went in this year for you all who are applying for whatever grant and you need a letter of support. And this is Manuela, as well as Katie, Erica, and Patricia. I mean, 73 letters. I said, are you sure? And this is a tremendous thing. And as all of you who have put some grants in know, it really helps to have a letter of support saying that CDTRP will offer these things in kind for your research project. And they range across the scope of research supports that we offer. And they really increase the chances that your project's going to get funded. And so you can see that of the supports from 23-24, there were 54 letters that went in, and the funding success rate was almost half of the awards that were applied for, not in number, but in value, were successful. And we've seen this when we count this by number of grants as well, that it really increases your competitiveness to have a letter of support that builds into it. It's not just, sure, I'll collaborate with you. It's very specific as to what kinds of supports you can expect. You can work together to make your research more impactful, to engage patient partners and families, to mobilize knowledge. And that's really important to all the funding agencies, especially CIHR. And I think I'm going back to you now, and you're going to include budget participation and services in here. Okay, great.
Yes, thanks very much, Laurie. So picking up from the letters of support that Laurie was describing, we're doing these in a new way. As we presented last year at this time, we were trialing our new operating model, providing letters of support for research services. So we launched our new cost sharing model in March for all of the types of supports for projects that you can see here on the slide. So if you're interested in these for your project, ideas that you're thinking about, Mano, who oversees the research services platform and is waving there at the back, hello Mano, has a table out in the exhibitor area with chocolates. And she would love to chat with you about how we can help with your projects. So just a refresher or a reminder of how the process works to request support. This is our new model. So we have a form on our website. You can request research support. And then Mano will get back to you with a draft letter of support. An example is up on the screen here, where we itemize exactly what supports you requested and what the values of those are. At the same time, she will include an estimate with that. So so we offer the in-kind supports described in the letter, and then paid supports that we're looking for budget space in your grant application to be able to deliver those. Of course, that's subject to revision, making sure the supports are the right ones for the project and discussion with the PI. And then when that's finalized, Menno will send back a nice letter of support to attach to your grant application. Okay. So shifting now to knowledge mobilization. So ISODP Journal Watch is a project that we've run in collaboration with ISODP, and this reviews and compiles the most relevant new donation-related publications. So the team delivers quarterly editions to the ISODP membership. So previously is Matt Weiss and Sunny Denani, who were leading the editorial board for the past 2 years. The editorial board has now shifted to South Africa, and the new leads are David Thompson and Tazama Ziyatola, and CDTRP continues to support that project. That's Erica is overseeing that. So we're really pleased to be strengthening our international collaborations and knowledge mobilization specifically in donation. Eric is also managing our Research Connect series, mobilizing knowledge within the research community and patient, family, and donor community. We had 18 webinars this year with some of the wonderful folks that you can see here, and are very grateful for the support from Astellas to make that series possible. Knowledge mobilization for patients, families, and donors. The CDTRP patient portal continues to evolve and serve as a central hub of resources for patients, families, caregivers, and living donors. And over the past year, our efforts have focused on strategically enhancing resource for pre-transplant patients and introducing a new patient engagements opportunities section. So this feature allows PFDs to explore available research engagement opportunities. And for researchers, the portal provides a streamlined online form with key questions designed to match them with suitable PFD partners through our platform. So to date, we've had 28 projects successfully use the portal to connect with PFD partners or disseminate surveys to PFD research participants. We continue to see growth in the number of accesses and number of visits to the portal, with a 218% increase in new users year over year. So this year we ran our 5th edition of the Patient, Family, and Donor Research Forum, coordinated by Manuel, with wonderful co-chairs Len Hodder and Ruth Sipir-Pichadze. And we have amazing attendance at this event. We had 187 participants across Canada and around the world. This year, the program particularly focused on patient engagement in clinical trials and EDI, understanding principles in health research and how we can continue to advance their application in donation and transplantation. Shifting now to equity and thinking about research for equitable benefits, we announced last year that in collaboration with Dr. Caroline Tate, we were launching the CDTRP Indigenous platform, which focuses on supporting Indigenous researchers, Indigenous health leaders, and Indigenous patients, families, and donors with their identifying and advancing their research priorities. So Caroline, we've advanced all of these areas that we had set out. I invite you all, well, I'm not sure if we have registration space left. No, okay, okay. Yes, if you have not already registered and you would like to, 9:15 this morning, the concurrent session, Developing Research Partnerships with Indigenous Peoples, run by Caroline. And then we'll hear tomorrow some additional work that the platform has been supporting in the Sacred Gifts session. One of the activities that the Indigenous platform undertook this year was holding a virtual Café Scientifique on truth and reconciliation in donation and transplantation, which had over 100 people attend. And during the discussion, the idea was proposed to work towards a policy resolution for Indigenous governments declaring donation and transplantation a priority, starting in BC, as Grand Chief Stuart Phillip from the BC Chiefs was in attendance. And Dr. Tate and Grand Chief Phillip made that happen this summer. This is a snapshot of the resolution from the BC Chiefs on the slide. And now under discussion is how to expand that resolution to other regions and to the national level, perhaps through the Assembly of First Nations. So last week, we got the news that we were awarded a planning grant from CDTRP to fund some travel to meet with Indigenous leaders and advance this work. So we're very excited about that. So shifting now to the people who are leading some of this great work. A number of folks who would recognize have rotated off our executive this year. So many thanks to Marie-Chantal Fortin, Aviva Goldberg, Marat Sasarev, Elaine Young, and Tom Hansen for their many years of contribution to our network. And a very warm welcome to our new members, Linda Powell, Caroline Tate, Shefali Sandel, and Lindsay Thompson, who are all here today. So welcome again. And here is the fantastic management team. So this year we welcomed 2 new members, Marie-Claire Capeza as our new program coordinator. She is at the back, making sure that this event runs smoothly. Hi, Marie-Claire. And we also welcomed Geetha Sanmugalingam as a research manager who is coordinating the Treat COVID project that you'll hear more about tomorrow. Our junior management team has also expanded. We have 4 new recruits, and they have had a very productive year focusing their work on building the team's skills in time management and multitasking. On a more serious note, we also wish to recognize the colleagues and friends who are no longer with us. So Mary Bocage was CDTRP Theme 1 PFD co-lead and a friend and a mentor to many of us. She was deeply committed to leveraging her personal experience to enhance research, support patients, families, and donors on their transplant journeys, and strengthen patient-oriented research. We also very sadly lost Larry Warfook, an active CDTRP PFD partner and friend who passed away in August. He was a double lung transplant recipient, and we will remember him for his kind nature, thoughtful questions, and eagerness to contribute to improving the transplant experience for others. So we miss the 2 of them very much. So what is ahead for CDTRP in 2025? We are excited to share that we've been successful with a 4-year CIHR grant of around just over $500,000, which is providing support to build a knowledge mobilization hub for a specific group of 4 projects that were linked to that competition. And will allow us to grow and consolidate our knowledge mobilization infrastructure. So one of these projects was a CNTRP legacy project that was supported at the very beginning of our network, led by Megan Leving. So that's a clinical trial of a thymic Treg-based therapy for GVHD. We were also successful with 3 CIHR grants that will help us develop partnerships with community organizations that serve specific communities, specifically sexual and gender minority groups, African, Caribbean, and Black communities, and the one with Indigenous health leaders that I mentioned previously. We, in terms of our governance and evolution as an organization, we shared last year that we've incorporated as a not-for-profit organization, and we're continuing that transition process. So we now have our bylaws established. This year we filed our first tax return, yay. So you can expect some procedural updates to CDTRP membership in 2025, and in particular, we'll be establishing a member renewal process. And lastly, we're excited to share that we're undertaking strategic planning over the course of 2025. So this will be a full year endeavor and giving us ample time to consult with the community and develop a thoughtful plan, which will be crucial in shaping our future direction and priorities from 2026 to 2030. We are going to be seeking active feedback from our community members as our executive team undertakes this process. And for those who are here in person, that will start tomorrow. Please join us for the theme priority setting sessions tomorrow afternoon, which will identify key areas of focus and priorities to inform our plan. And for those who are joining virtually today, do not fear, we will have sessions for you as well. We'll have virtual sessions to consult with the community in the spring, and so there'll be the opportunity to share your input then. And throughout the year, we'll be working with the executive committee to refine and define various elements of the plan, aligning with our organizational capabilities and vision, and identifying the funding opportunities, especially grants, that will help fund those priorities that we collectively identify. And that we believe this approach will result in a plan that continues to position us for future success in donation transplant research. So, thank you very much.
We have a few minutes for questions. And then for people who are joining us virtually, just put up your hand and they'll be monitored, or type a question in the chat box and we'll get that.
For the online people, just as a patient family donor partner, it's just so invigorating and impassioning to see the work that has happened over the past couple of years, and to see these reports. It really validates what we're all doing. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Linda. That's very kind. I would just also like to take a moment to acknowledge Patricia because she's very modest and, won't say anything, but her efforts in managing the team, in coordinating everything, in making the most of the human capital that we have here is really extraordinarily important to the entire mission, as it were. And so well done, Patricia. Are there other questions or comments from anyone else? Great. What's next, Jonathan? I'll hand it back to you.
All right. All right, thanks. Yeah, it's great to hear about all the great things CDTRP has done, and great to hear we are in a great position moving forward too. So it's a credit to the team. All right, so next they're gonna